Yeah, we're here from Belize, and this is for worl-a-music.com, right? Um, so here's what happened. When I heard about you, it was firstly in the Sound Clash fraternities. Um, you just popped up out of literally uh, nowhere, you know what I mean? Given the news and all of that with the clashes all over the world. And we were quite impressed with that here. You know what I mean? So could you give us a little brief history of how you got into that?
Well, the putting the content online, whether that be interviews or news reports, really started probably around 2012.
Right.
That was something which I had to do because of circumstances. Prior to that, I had been a selector, and I had to move the city which I lived in back to where I originally grew up, where there was no reggae and dancehall scene. So I had to come up with a way to keep involved with the music using the internet. And I didn't have any grand plan of exactly what I was going to do. It was just more a case of trial and error, see what people liked, see what was popular. And I just went with my instinct to begin with, things that I was interested with. And I'm glad that people seem to enjoy them, like yourself, in many countries. So thank you for checking out the content.
Yeah, definitely. For your fans, do you mind mentioning the sound system that you was on?
I was playing as a solo selector. I was still pretty young at the time. When I finished high school, the first job I had was DJing. So that's what I just started doing from the age of 18, really. And that led to me moving away to another city about 3 hours away from where I grew up to pursue DJing. And I did that for a few years, but due to being young, not managing my finances very well, not being very experienced in the world, and also the fact that a young dancehall selector doesn't make very much. And for a number of reasons, I had to move home. So I was never a very established or well-known DJ. If you lived in the north of England, then you may have heard of me. I was just using the same name that I use now, Gibbo. And the last time I DJed would have probably been 2010 or 2011. So it was quite some time ago.
Yeah, cool. I remember as you saying that, I saw you either received an award or something at the Warina East. Some one of the shows I remember you going up to some sort of award or giving an award or something to that effect. Highlight that a bit for me, could you?
Yeah, that was Warina East. It was in Berlin, and I think it was 2015. I've been to Warina East a few times. It's a great event. I would encourage anybody who's in Europe or who can get there to check it out. And it was just before the clash started. I was actually standing at the bar. I had no idea that I was going to get the award. And I was talking to some fans, some fellow Sound Clash fans who said they also liked the interviews. We were just chatting, and then all of a sudden there was an announcement, can Gibbo come to the stage? And I thought, oh, perhaps, the clash is just about to start or something. And then they took me by surprise and they gave me the award at Warina East. And I was completely shocked, wasn't expecting it, very grateful, thankful to them. I think that was the second year they'd done the clash in Berlin, because it started in the Netherlands and then moved it to Germany. That was the Black Chinese against Jugglers clash. So it's always, that's not why I don't do this for recognition or to get awards or anything like that. I do it because I love the music, I love Jamaican music and culture, and I hope to kind of give back and put out content which I hope people enjoy and highlight the work that other people are doing. But at the same time, it's a sign that what you're doing is connecting with people, and that people like what you do. So from from that perspective, it was a nice surprise and certainly welcome.
Yeah. You definitely are getting a lot of recognition worldwide. I'll just retract back a bit. I remember linking you online. This is 2016 when I did the first ever. It was the first ever international song clash here in Belize. The Bring the Alarm with Black Chinese versus Dynamic. You know what I mean? So we were grateful for the coverage that you had put out a bit on it. You know what I mean? After seeing what transpired after that with Dynamic's career and doing the World Clash last year, and yeah, his thing went up. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for him with that. And it put my a part of my branding to a whole other level, because we've been doing concerts down here from like the mid 90s. You know what I mean? We brought Buju here, Baby Sham, Assassin, that's Global Promotions. You know what I mean? And we did that clash pay-per-view, first ever pay-per-view in Belize. So it's kind of putting a lot of parts of the puzzle from all over the world together, and you being like the how should I put it, the torch carrier for the Sound Clash thing. I was truly impressed with that. So I had to reach out to you because nobody else was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody from Europe jumping on that and getting some serious interviews, because I've seen interviews with you and Sham, a bunch of different celebrities in the music fraternity from Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? So that I had to reach out, and in turn, because I'm a promoter and we manage people here in Belize as well, and the whole entertainment industry and pushing a song system as well, I have that sort of relationship with artists here as well. Like we have exclusive interviews with this guy that just signed with Popcorn from Belize. He was there in Jamaica when Drake was there, like last week, something like that.
Unruly Fest.
Yeah, the Unruly Fest. Dude was right there on the stage with Popcorn. He recently signed. His name is TY. So it's artists like that, Denise Castillo, Jackie Castillo, a bunch of people here. If you heard of DJ Perf, he produced the Cartel song Fever. You know what I mean? So I introduced him to Max in New York City. So the plugs, you know what I mean, is there worldwide with us. Which takes me to my thing now with the Red Bull Radio and Max restreaming your interviews from, or your newscast from Irie Jam, right?
It's actually a separate news report that I do for Max, especially for his show.
Okay.
When he's had the show on Red Bull Radio for quite some time, but at the start of 2018, it went from being a monthly show to a weekly show, and he asked me if I would be interested in contributing. So I said, sure, sounds great to me. So every week I do a short audio only news report specifically for Max. It's shorter than the one that I do for Irie Jam, and there's obviously a video component to the Irie Jam one as well. But yeah, I'm thankful for Max for giving me the opportunity, I should say, to be part of the show every week. He's on Wednesday. It will be 1 to 3 p.m. Belize time live, or you can listen back anytime on the Red Bull Radio website. And he does a great show. I'm not just saying that because I'm part of it, but in terms of his selection, you know, he stays on top of all the new music, and he gives you the full spread from dancehall through to reggae. And he also has a lot of top name guests passing through, artists, producers, whoever happens to be in New York.
Yeah, definitely. I follow Max with the show weekly once I have time. That is, you know what I'm saying? And whenever I'm in New York City, we go to his dances in Manhattan, whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very, me and Max cool. We're pretty cool. You know what I mean? So that component off his show, we kind of look forward to that. Well, listeners like myself look forward to hearing what's happening, what's new. It's a lot of stuff that I found out through your your newscast or your little news segment with Max's show. You know what I mean? So we're grateful for that, and it's sometimes it's content we go more elaborate on this end for our website, and we put up news things that are just really exclusive. We put it up, you know what I mean? And with that being said, we felt that we had to reach out to you as some like a bit of an ambassador for the music thing worldwide, you know what I mean? So I know you put in a lot of work with getting content with what's happening worldwide. I know you was recently at the Steel Pulse thing in New York.
I was.
That grew up on that, so I definitely enjoyed that. Then boom, I see Gibbo with things with that again. So again, you're very much on point.
Yes, the Steel Pulse show was great. Someone who comes from the UK, I think Steel Pulse kind of hold a special place in my heart, you know, just because of I think you feel an extra connection with the bands that come from where you do. So, you know, the UK artists like a Steel Pulse or a Aswad or maybe a Tipper Irie, a Maxi Priest, to the more modern day artists. I just they were some of the artists who I've listened to for the longest, so to get to see Steel Pulse live, it was a great show.
Oh, definitely. I concur on that. I grew up, well, through my dad knowing about Steel Pulse, you know what I mean? So like everything, my dad used to work with a place called Bat Sub with soldiers from the UK that are here in Belize. So I grew up watching him with the Clarks and desert Clarks and the Wallabies and all of that, and listening to Steel Pulse, that was like music to my ear every day. So that part, again, I could relate to that. How not to cut cross real quick, but how was it transitioning from being in the UK to, I guess you're based in New York City now, right?
I'm in New York at the moment anyway. Yeah, I've been here for about a year. The transition, well, if anyone's ever moved from one country to another, it's a nightmare in terms of just sorting things out and the logistics and all the things in your personal life. It's a real headache, right. But at the same time, I love New York. I love being here. I don't regret the decision. There's kind of two levels of differences because there's differences between the two countries, the UK and America. Even though we speak the same language, a lot of things still operate in a different way, and there is a cultural gap that I think people don't realize. And the other kind of differences is differences between where I come from in the UK. It was a smaller city, and then being in a huge city like New York, there's just differences between the little city atmosphere and the big city atmosphere. So I'm not going to say there was no transition or nothing that I had to get used to, but you know, I had visited New York in a couple of years before coming here a couple of times, and you know, from the first time from before I even came to New York, I knew I was going to like it, and then when I got here, that just really kind of confirmed my opinion. So no, I'm glad to be here in New York. It's not that I hate the UK. I don't want people thinking that. I still like the UK. I grew up there. I know all my family's there. You know, there's a lot of good people I know in the UK, specifically within the music scene. And it's not that I've left them behind or I don't like them. I'm just over here having a great time at the moment in New York and taking in everything that's on offer. Okay.
Are there any future plans for the Gibbo Present brand?
I haven't got anything set out in stone, anything concrete, but a couple of things we've just mentioned already, doing the news for Max and doing the weekly news video for Irie Jam, neither of those were things which I was doing a year ago, so they kind of came on the scene without me even really going for them. So I always just try and maximize the opportunities when they come my way. That being said, over the last year, I did do interviews with sounds and artists, but I did fewer than I'd done previously in the UK, but that's just because I was doing more news-related stuff. So the approach that I've got when it comes to doing music things is I will definitely be involved with music. I will definitely be spending a lot of time and putting a lot of work in, but I've got a kind of a flexible approach when it comes to just seeing what opportunities come my way, and you know, going with the flow really. So there's nothing specific which I have in mind that I want to do this year, or new things that I'm taking on board, but I'm open to anything dancehall and reggae related really. Anything which I enjoy, anything which I think I can do a good job at, and I certainly plan on doing just as much music related stuff, if not more music related stuff in 2019 than I did in 2018 and previous years.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna take you back a bit, just a tad bit to the Sound Clash fraternities. I am in most of them, and somebody, I don't remember the person's name or whatever, but it did come up, your name. They said, what happened to Gibbo? You know what I mean? Was Gibbo, where did Gibbo disappear to, and was this just a platform for bigger things and this, that, and the third, and whatever? Would you wanna, or do you mind addressing that, so that you clear up whatever misconceptions your fans might have out there, or people within the Sound Clash fraternity?
Well, yeah, over the past year in 2018, as I just touched on before, I did fewer interviews, full stop. That wasn't just Clash, that was Clash and artist. I think a lot of people in the Sound Clash forums really just know me for the Clash stuff, or know me mainly for the Clash stuff, but that was always just one part of what I did. It wasn't that I started doing Clash and then moved on to other stuff. It was always from the start that I did the news stuff, the Clash stuff, and the other interviews as well. I would have liked to have been able to do more Clash interviews, but as I said, just over the last year, with the commitments to doing the news stuff every week, I just haven't got the time to do as many Clash interviews or other interviews as I did previously. It's not a case of me not liking Clash or forgetting about Clash, or, you know, I hope that I will always be able to do at least some stuff related to Sound Clashes. To me, one of the greatest experiences within the music world is being at the Sound Clash, being there in person, enjoying it, watching two or more top tier sounds go head to head. From the first time I ever heard audio over Sound Clash, I love the concept. I couldn't get enough of it. I still love Sound Clashes to this day. So as I say, I hope I will always be involved with them in some way. And if people feel that I've forgotten, I didn't see the comment exactly, so I'm not sure what somebody said. They're entitled to their opinion. If they feel that way, then you know, they're free to voice that. But I can assure you that I still like Sound Clashes, still enjoy Sound Clashes as much as I ever have, and I hope that going forwards I continue to put out content related to Sound Clashes for a long time to come. But when opportunities come your way, like this stuff with the news, and you embrace them and you take them on, I have to give them the full attention that they deserve, and their weekly commitments. I can't just take a week off. So if they take up a lot of time, and I've only got a certain amount of time I can spend on music things a week, then, you know, they have to take priority, especially if I've committed to do them for other people. But just to put my foot down once again and to make it clear, you know, I hope I still love Sound Clashes. I still love the culture, the sounds, the fans. It's great, and I hope that I'm involved with them for a long time to come.
Oh, definitely. As you reiterated, you do love it, and it's an integral part of the entire culture, the music, whatever. Belize certainly has jumped on that. Artists here cut dubs and this, that, and the third, and it's a part of their careers. When song systems carry their vocals, and likewise now, like I said, for me, for some particular reason, you stuck out giving updates on a regular basis, or a constant basis. At that time, dealing with the clashes, that put a lot of of a better word on on that entire industry. You understand what I'm saying? Both coming from coming from the UK. I mean, there's sound systems, DJs all over the world. Irish and Chin, I know they have Irish and Chin. They have their sound chat thing. Then you have, I think War Report is another one of them, if I'm not mistaken. But for some particular reason, you stood out, and we give much accolades and applaud to you from worl-a-music.com. You know what I mean? And we felt, like I said earlier, that we had to reach out to you with the trailblazing, I would want to put it as in your arena, then jumping on with Irie Jam now and doing that, then by extension now with Max's thing. Your future looks bright. You need some dark shades, man.
Hey, I'm just I wouldn't overstate my importance or my power or my role I've played in any of those things, but I just, as I said before, I love Jamaican Caribbean music and culture, so anything that I can do to be a part of that and to highlight the work of other people, whether that be artists, selectors, producers, promoters, that is what I like to do. That's what I see my role as. I'm not someone who I think is really making the culture. I'm not making music, I'm not producing, I'm not writing lyrics, I'm not putting on events, I'm not DJing at events, I'm not clashing, I'm not voicing dubs. I just like to highlight the work of other people. That's what I see my role as anyway. So and if people think that I'm playing a valuable role in doing that, then I guess that's a job well done.
Oh, definitely. Accolades again to you. Is there anything you want to close out with your fans worldwide? The stage is yours.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's even just checked out one piece of content which I've put out over the last few years, whether that be an interview, a news report, or whatever. Really, one of the things which I like the most about being involved with dancehall and reggae music is the people who I've got to meet through being a part of it at events and in person. I've met some great people, and from all over the world, countries where I've never been. It'd be a long list of places of people I've met, and that's, to me, one of the greatest things, getting to meet the people and the people it's brought me in contact with. So like yourself from Belize, you know, I would love to visit one day. I've never been, but you know, it comes still as a shock to me that people in Belize have watched my interviews, my news reports, listened to it and enjoy it, but it really humbles me to know that. So you know, I want to say thank you to you for inviting me to do this interview, and also for checking out the content for a few years. So thank you.
Oh, definitely. I don't want to close off this interview that hasty. I know your time is limited. You mentioned being here. Definitely, you're welcome whenever you want to come through. I will certainly hold you down and take you around the country so you can see everything Belize has to offer. You're in close contact with Max, so you can ask Max what's up. He's been here. He's a citizen by now.
Enjoyed the trip. Yeah, he told me it was great. I asked him I think he went within the last year, maybe about 6 months ago. He was in Belize.
Yeah, he played for a dance, and I was there. He was kicking it for a bit. But he's been here so much, my man. I feel like he's a citizen by now. So you dig? So he's always in contact with us, and he can certainly tell you. I think the first time we met, we was in the Keys at a private party at the Split, and he was like, "Yo, he's been all over the world, but the first time he's seen stuff, what he's seen here." And truly amazed, you know what I mean? Like his biggest thing was Jamaica, doing all of that, so seeing Belize and the stuff is here, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, when you want to come through, certainly we would be honored to have you. I think, as a matter of fact, if I recall, I had put an invite to you to be the compose that clash when I did that the Ring the Alarm clash, right? So whenever we do the next show for that, where Dynamic has to come defend, we would love to have you as the host for that. That would certainly be huge for us, you know what I'm saying? So you're in close proximity with New York, so it would be much easier, you know what I mean? Like I spoke with Jamie Radigan the other day, also David Radigan's management and David, to get them to Belize, but again, it's the location is kind of tough to do all the way from the UK to Belize. But you're close enough now in
Sure.
Brooklyn. You're Brooklyn?
I'm in Brooklyn, yeah. That's the thing. All these countries which used to be so far away from me, Central, South America, the Caribbean, they were a long way from the UK, and they're all a lot closer to me now. That being said, for time and work and financial reasons, I haven't ventured outside. There's so many places in the US I haven't even seen that I want to see yet. But yeah, as I said, one day I would certainly love to come to Belize. And it sounds like you're putting on some great events out there. So
much happening for real. Definitely, man. I want to thank you again from the entire global promotions team, worl-a-music.com, also my sound system, Globetrotters Sound, from my entire camp. I want to say enough respect and manners to you to do the interview, my boss.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure. I'm sorry I only gave you short notice, but I didn't realize it was going to have some free time today. And then when I saw I was going to be getting home a little earlier than I thought I'd reach out to you and see if we could get this done, because I've been telling you I would do it for a while. Yeah. And once I've said I'm going to do something, I'm the type of person who has to make sure I do it. So I wanted to get this done for you. So I hope that I've given you some full answers to the questions you asked. It's always great to talk music with people.
Oh, definitely, man. Well appreciated. We'll definitely chop it up some more. You know, more time for us online. I know the schedules is hectic on both ends, but definitely we're gonna catch up and we're gonna get to Belize one way or the other. You know what I mean? For real.